Our world, this vibrant blue marble spinning in the vastness of space, is a place of endless wonder. We often look to the stars for mystery, but some of Earth's greatest secrets lie hidden in plain sight. In deserts, where life should wither, we find whispers of civilizations, unexplained formations, and traces of life that should not exist. Tonight we travel across three of the strangest deserts: the Great Victoria with its cryptic circles, the Sahara, where a colossal eye stares back, and the Arctic, where hidden life endures. These are Earth's forgotten mysteries: circles, eyes, and hidden life. Join me as we cross continents, from Australia's red heart to the Sahara and the frozen Arctic. These landscapes are not empty, they are archives, written in sand, stone, and ice. Science, myth, and human memory converge on these quiet places. Our journey begins in Australia, where the land bears a pattern no one fully understands. From the ground, the outback is silence and spinifex, but from the air, something astonishing appears. Hundreds, sometimes thousands of near-perfect bare circles dot the plain, small and large, precise like a pattern stitched into the earth. Aerial surveys in the mid-20th century baffled scientists. Indigenous peoples had long known them as part of Dreamtime stories. To the Pitjantjatjara and Yankunytjatjara, the circles are woven into sacred landscapes, footprints of ancestral beings, places of origin and warning. Myth and memory make the land legible in ways science only later began to map. One scientific explanation: subterranean termites engineer the soil, clearing vegetation above nests and creating bare centers. These circles can act as rainwater traps, with lush rings forming at the edges, a pattern of ecosystem engineering by tiny creatures. Field studies show termite activity correlates with many circles, but not all. Another idea: self-organization. Plants competing for scarce water create depletion zones, leaving regular bare patches. Mathematical models reproduce similar rings as an emergent property of competition and scarce resources. Other, less supported ideas include underground gas vents or rare meteoric events, but evidence remains scarce. Where science explains patterns, myth gives them soul. Resting places of spirits, dance floors of beings, or even landing sites for the imagination. Across cultures, humans project stories onto striking rings, whether fairy rings in Europe or modern UFO lore in the outback. Somber legends of explorers who vanished near these formations remind us that the desert is not merely curiosity, it is peril. Circles emerge, persist for decades, then vanish, a silent, rhythmic dance across the plains. Competing theories coexist, each explains part of the phenomenon but none fully close the book. Perhaps the truest answer is layered: biology, physics, and story woven together on a vast canvas. From circles in the sand we travel north to a formation so large it required spaceflight to reveal. The eye of the Sahara stares back at us from orbit, a geological enigma 50 kilometers across. From the ground it is humble ridges, from space it is a monumental bullseye, a reminder that perspective reshapes our world. Astronauts in the 1960s peered down and saw a perfect circular landmark in the Sahara, a beacon in an ocean of sand. The Richat structure, the eye of the Sahara, revealed concentric rings of color and ridge across nearly 50 kilometers. On the ground one might cross low ridges and valleys and never appreciate the grand symmetry. From above it looks deliberate, an eye or a bullseye carved in stone. Its concentric rings are layers of sandstone, limestone, shale, and igneous intrusions weathered into vivid bands. At first some suggested a meteor, but ground studies found no shocked quartz or melt rock. Fieldwork showed instead a complex interior, varied rock types and a puzzling megabreccia at the center. The prevailing view, a domed anticline uplifted by subsurface forces and then sculpted by erosion over millions of years. Long ago, molten rock pushed upward, bulging sedimentary layers into a blister-like dome, then wind and water peeled the layers back. Hard quartzite resisted erosion, forming circular ridges. Softer rock wore away to form valleys, nature's cross-section revealed. At the center, a chaotic megabreccia hints at collapse or hydrothermal explosions that remain debated. The eye is largely explained, yet its near-perfect symmetry remains unusually precise. Legends followed. Some saw Plato's Atlantis in the rings, concentric land and water, a romantic but speculative link. Proponents point to matching ring geometry and stone types. Skeptics note the inland elevation and lack of definitive archaeology. Whether lost city or natural masterpiece, the eye fuels both science and imagination. The Richat structure is a book of Earth's deep history, each ring a sentence in a sentence that spans hundreds of millions of years. For those who first saw it from space, it was awe. For geologists, a puzzle that reshaped thinking about landscapes. Now we travel north, to a desert of ice where life hides in the cold. At the top of the world, a frozen waste seems lifeless, yet the Arctic is technically a desert because it receives almost no precipitation. Its water is locked in ice and permafrost, an archive of time and climate. Beneath and within the ice, brine channels and sheltered pockets harbor extremophiles, microbes adapted to cold, salinity, and isolation. These tiny survivors thrive where most life cannot, and their biochemistry mirrors the conditions we expect on icy worlds beyond Earth. If life thrives under our ice, it suggests that moons like Europa or Enceladus could also be habitable. Studying Arctic extremophiles helps define where to look for life elsewhere and how to detect it. For millennia, Inuit stories have explained auroras, storms, and beings of the ice, oral knowledge tuned to survival. Legends like Sedna teach respect for the sea and its creatures, wisdom born of intimate knowledge of a harsh world. That knowledge is a repository of ecological insight as the Arctic now changes rapidly. As the ice melts, ancient landscapes and fossils emerge, a race begins to study what is revealed before it is lost. Preserved mammoths and Pleistocene remains are time capsules, offering direct windows into past climates and ecosystems. Scientists sequence ancient DNA and sample microbiomes. Each discovery expands our picture of Earth's past and of life's resilience. But these revelations are driven by warming, a signal that the planet is changing, and that mysteries are unearthed with urgency. From microbes to mammoths, the Arctic teaches us humility, that life finds a way, and that timekeepers sit in ice. These hidden worlds connect to a larger planetary story, and to the deserts that weave it. Circles, eyes, hidden life. 3 deserts, 3 mysteries, 1 planet writing stories in sand, stone, and ice. The next great discovery may come not from a distant galaxy but from a grain of sand or a droplet in a forgotten corner of Earth.